one.
All right. Whose song should we play first? I'll hit it with
Just
Joe's. I'll hit it with Joe's.
Roll either of them, baby.
Yeah. Roll tape.
Joe's getting antsy.
His opponent, from Hollywood, California, weighing 260 pounds,
Give me the jitters.
Goldust.
And look at this. This, ladies and gentlemen, is premiere.
Gotti.
Probably win.
This is like being at the Academy Awards,
Joe
man.
is 60 pounds.
For the opening of a big movie. Look at this.
75 at best.
All right. So this is Joe's deck. What do we've got here? We've got
Mono white, baby.
oh wow, mono white.
Fucking. I got so mad at Winter War.
You wouldn't know anything about
so
the
hard
number
to
photographers that follow big stars like gold dust around.
Classic Joe. Just pick a lane and stick to it. All right. And in the other corner, when I can find the
The people's champion, if we're being
Good luck describing this deck.
it's easy as
and in the other corner, we've got Bass Taters, aka Nick Trombolo, with this gem. What can we say about this? Did anybody play this deck?
No one on Earth has played this deck before.
I never played against it, but I distinctly remember looking at it against in his match against Matt and seeing Dark Ritual, Nahiri. The land base in play was like island stomping ground. It was
It's truly a thing of beauty.
It was out there. Yeah.
All right. Well, this looks like a classic like Nick pile of just cards that shouldn't work together that just will. But all right.
Yeah.
I do really think that
they
this is
will.
a beautiful like, complete jank versus streamlined one color.
All right. I'll let them know that they're good to go.
I for one am shocked that Joe had enough patience to wait to that. So thank you, Joe.
All right. So opening hands. Let's see. So Nick's on the play. Oh, they're going. Breeding pool into ponder, I suppose. Okay.
Yeah, I guess you keep these off the back of Ponder alone, right? You just think fine black source, or I guess I don't fully know what this hand is looking for either from Nick.
Yeah, so that's the thing that I'm confused by. Like, I don't know.
Like discard outlet and reanimation is what you're looking for here. I guess Nahiri. You're Nahiri looting away.
I don't know that. I guess he's a reanimator deck. But
It didn't really look like
he
a
also has
reanimator.
Emrakul.
Well, you're not gonna hard cast the Ashen Rider this century. It's just gonna. I mean, you
No,
could, but it'll
that's
take forever. I think Nick said he did once, possibly, but like a turn 9 or
So-
something.
so,
That's
like,
not why you would keep the hand. I
What
would
are
guess.
the broken
No,
things
no.
that his deck is doing?
What,
It's
does
like
anyone know the scries on
it's like on burial rites.
Decision on Ponder? Oof.
He shuffled the ponder.
If I were Nick, I would not want to know Joe's hand right now. Although this is still. Oh wow, this
Yeah, but Drew is
one lane. Yeah, oh, this was a mistake. Never mind. It looks great if you had like 2 more lands in it.
So, I mean,
Ooh, black source never didn't happen.
can somebody correct me if I'm wrong? Like, it doesn't look like Nick's deck is doing anything off the charts. Off the charts, broken.
You're wrong. It's definitely doing something.
You don't get to the finals.
It's winning.
doing literally nothing.
No.
You're
But
forgetting the part where it's winning games.
no,
It's
obviously.
It's Magic fundamentals. It's your bread and butter fundamentals of Magic deck.
Yeah, it's what? It's bread, right? It's or what's the acronym?
it's bread. It's bread drafted vintage cube.
It's not even that acronym. I know what you mean. You're saying like what limited resources calls bread.
Removal of baby
Yeah.
shit.
Okay,
Yeah,
he's
that's
got bombs. He's got Vindicate.
Any
That's
spell.
removal.
But like, okay, I guess what I mean
And
by
he has that.
I guess what I mean by broken stuff, right, is like the way I always try to play Vintage Cube is like you just try to find like shit that you shouldn't be allowed to do in Magic because that's what Vintage Cube's all about. And he just seems to be playing like a lot of like good cards. Like Oko is broken, sure. Like you play Oko, you're winning, but
It's Broco.
But you know what I mean? It's not like
It
it's not like he has
nothing.
like he doesn't have like a turn 1 Emrakul.
I mean, when Nick re-listens to this, we're not saying it's bad, but like it's unorthodox.
No,
I don't think you could call it an orthodox deck.
No, and actually,
Like,
what I'm asking is, I'm like,
Oh, wait, hold on. First of all, technically he does have a turn 1 if he has Oath of Druids. I did not realize he had Oath of Druids.
well, so
in his deck.
that no,
That is what
yes.
his deck is.
I was
He's also
asking,
Oath of Druids.
I was
That is a busted card.
no, so
Yes, Nick and I started talking about this. It's like the most powerful busted card you never see play in Vintage Cube.
Yes.
Right? It's like
Well,
so
I think it's
difficult to
also
build
very,
around.
very slept on by our group.
Oh.
I think it's a much more powerful card than like the Lord's Respect.
okay.
I would agree, but then again, I don't ever. It's not like when I do watch streamers. It's never like I see streamers play it. I don't see streamers
That's a
even
good point.
play. I've never seen a streamer play against it. Even it's not even like oh.
It's maybe one of the most restrictive cards in terms of like deck building. Like you have
Yes.
to make that choice, and then once you've made that choice, you are locked into that choice, which makes me think that like better Magic players, like streamers who play all the time, are like, I don't want to risk having a bad draft, so I'm not going to try.
It's like
Oh wow.
what? What's happening?
I guess he's
Why?
to avoid
he's
the.
trying not to activate the oath. He had to.
That's hilarious.
Oh, this game is already one
This
for
is
the
gold.
Holy shit! Yes, yes. Nick. Someone count if he
Goes
can
me,
cast
goes me.
Ashen Rider.
Trust me, I don't want to throw you under the bus
Four.
because I think what
No,
you're saying
he's-
is totally
he's off
correct.
by-
This is triple
But for
white.
you to say,
He can hardcast it.
say-
Oh fuck! Can he hardcast it?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I mean, Dark
He can-
Ritual plus Black Lotus, he can do it.
I'm screenshotting
That's
even though we're recording. I'm
Wait,
screenshotting.
sorry.
Like, this is
Stack,
absurd.
Stack, what do you?
I just wanted to say for you to say I don't think his deck's doing anything that
No,
broken.
no.
For
I
him
was
to-
asking.
for
No,
him
no.
to then draw and slam Oath of Druids and Black Lotus was so funny.
Okay, to be clear, I was. That wasn't like me looking through his deck and being like, I don't think this is good. It was me literally asking because I hadn't.
No,
played.
I know it
hadn't
wasn't.
seen it. Interesting. Nahiri
I
over.
totally see where you're
Oh,
going.
you know what? I think he was one off Ashen. He had 3,
Not with a dark. Well,
3, 6, 9.
not with a dark ritual. He could
Is he
have.
fine?
He could have dark ritual and Black Lotus.
Wow, he could have.
Yeah,
so
I
he
think
would
so.
have triple white, and then he had to pay 3 colorless. Yes, he had. That's wild. Why did he do that?
I mean,
Oh.
what did he loot? He looted, right, with Nahiri?
And why would you pitch the seal that could get you like? Oh, this is interesting. Did we miscount?
Well,
I
I think maybe what he's
I
doing.
I
would
kind
say-
of agree. I think Nahiri's fine.
Well, so like he's trying to not give.
You're of the opinion that you shouldn't Ashen Rider when your opponent's still
When your
on
opponent only
land.
has one
Well,
land.
he's trying to not
I
give.
feel like that ends a lot of games.
Well, he was trying not to give Joe
Yeah, but
the
that-
Oath of
but,
Druids
Joe's
trigger.
like best creature is like a 4-mana that makes 2 1/1s.
Right, but
like,
I think he
unit attacks. Like, what are you worried about Joe flipping out of his deck?
I think he was thinking that like Joe needs to play creatures, otherwise Joe can't win. And he's like, I don't need to play creatures, I can play Nahiri. Right?
What is happening here?
This is
So
the
he's
Oath of
oathing.
Druids.
Oh,
trigger.
he's oathing. Okay.
But sorry,
I mean,
okay, but do you get what I'm saying, right? So like Joe's mono white.
No, but like I get what you're saying, but like an Ashen Rider blocks every creature in Joe's deck.
Sure, but like
And he only gets one.
but an unanswered Nahiri is also like very good. And doesn't put yourself at
Yeah,
any risk.
wait,
Like
I thought Stack was the one defending not doing Ashen Rider. So wait,
No,
so
you
Stack.
convinced me. You convinced me
Oh, okay. Oh,
very
that's
easily.
nice. For once.
Well, it was a very clearly good point.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's so rare that I get acknowledged. Wow, wait. So
What I'm saying is I understand like the line of like, oh, I don't think
there
my
it is.
opponent a creature, and then I understand why that
oh
doesn't
my
happen.
god,
Get
these don't
back.
go back in library, do they? These literally just gonna mill. Wow. That's fucked.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Oath just like because Nick isn't creature heavy either, which is another thing with Oath, right? Is you could just mill yourself for 20, 15. From what I remember of last week when I talked to Nick, like after the 2 rounds of the draft, and we were just hanging around. I think he said he saw Oath pack 1 and then let it table or something.
But okay,
But to our point before, I don't like. That's the only thing is like I don't even understand in theory how you become an Oath deck. It feels like if you don't see a pack 1, you don't play it.
Okay,
because you have to be a green deck that doesn't ever pick a single like mana dork. It's just a bizarre card. It's a completely bizarre card.
You don't have to be a green deck because it's like once you are locked into playing Oath, you're like you pick the 2 creatures you want to flip, and then
I feel like I would be like blue black control reanimator, and then like splash Oath.
So also just for whatever it's worth, Emrakul's now costs 8.
Also, Nick in the chat.
Oh, sorry, Nick. We're not watching the game. What's up?
I have a rules question.
Is it joke? Yeah, what's up?
I got a Gitrog monster off Oath of Druids after milling almost my whole library.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the Gitrog monster comes onto the battlefield, and all the cards above it go to the graveyard. And Gitrog monster says whenever 1 or more lands are put into your graveyard from anywhere, draw a card. Did I just mill myself?
Let me look up Oath. I don't. But the Gitrog wasn't in play for that, right? It wouldn't have seen that, right?
That's what I'm asking.
It does say it sequentially.
So I can order
on
it?
the card.
Oh,
well,
wait.
No, hold on. We're looking it up.
Oh, okay.
If that player does, that player puts that card onto the battlefield, and all other cards revealed this way.
Oh, I see. So you're wondering if the card comes onto the battlefield first, and then. But is it?
It does.
Oh wow.
And then
no, it's because it's all one clause. Nick controls each individual trigger.
I'm allowed in here too.
Holy shit! This is weird.
I think it does. Because the card goes onto the battlefield, and then all those cards go in the graveyard. But Gitrog monster.
No. What it says is that player puts that card onto the battlefield, and all other cards revealed this way into their graveyard. What that means is it's not separated by a comma or a period. It's not two separate
the two
clauses.
things happen at the same time.
It is one thing that happens at the same time, which means Nick, as active player, gets to control both things.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Okay.
I'm
not 100%, but I...
Yeah, you have to resolve Oath of Druids. It's true. You have to resolve Oath of Druids first.
It's an and. So both of those things are happening at the same time. If it was then or like a colon or whatever.
Yes, exactly. Or a comma.
So is Nick choosing to do one before the other, you're saying?
I think they happen at the same time.
Nick is choosing to resolve Oath of Druids, which puts all the things in the graveyard, and then put the Gitrog monster to play.
That's what I'm saying. You resolve half of it.
Which is allowed to do. You're not resolving half of it, you're resolving all of it, but it has to resolve in an order. But you get to pick that order.
Yeah, that player puts that card onto the battlefield, and other cards revealed this way into his or her graveyard. It just they happen at the same time.
Yeah. It's only sequential because of the way English works.
Right. Yeah.
It's just I'm trying to think of like comparable analogies in Magic. Like when do two things happen at one time? But like
so this is actually a good one. So this is a good one. I just had this last literally in Vintage Cube. We had
I misread Gitrog. So I would only draw one card off of it. So it's really just a question of
one or more lands. I don't think you do.
Got it.
So okay.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
So I was gonna say in my crappy
one
deck,
or more land cards, right?
In my crappy deck, I played Show and Tell, and Show and Tell's like 2 creatures hit the battlefield. You know, it's like each person picks I think it's not even creatures, like permanent card, like reveals it and puts it onto the battlefield, and like I think my opponent, I forget who it was I think it was Joe actually, picked like Oblivion Ring or something like that. And then I was like, okay, well, which comes into the battle onto the battlefield first? And it's like actually like they both come in at the same time, so they don't see each other.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of the same thing. Like two things are happening at the same time, and because they're happening at the same time, they don't interact with each other. If that makes sense.
Cool. So you're saying they don't interact?
So I'm saying like the Gitrog monster does not see the cards going into the graveyard because because the Gitrog monster is coming onto the battlefield and the cards are going into the graveyard at the same time. It's not like the Gitrog monster comes onto the battlefield, that resolves, and then the cards go into the graveyard. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm pretty confident that's how it is.
Cool. Okay. So I will then not draw a card off it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Great. I'm going to head back.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
I'm like 50% confident that was right.
I'm like 90% confident. I'm like 99% confident.
Well, I didn't want to argue with you, but I'm not even sure I agree with the show and tell part, but it's neither here nor there.
No, we looked it up. Like, we did our due diligence
Okay.
on it.
Show and tell, but also, the show and tell is a weird card. I also get it confused with the other one, and they have very weird rulings.
They're both weird cards.
Oath is also one of the worst. Oath is like such a confusing card that they can't errata it in 2022 to even be reasonably lengthed. Like, it's that poorly worded that's like, oh, it's impossible to word this well.
So here's just another interesting twist here. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say Emrakul now costs 8 because there's I was like, wow, there's a lot of cards in this graveyard. I'm like, oh, that's like a lot of card types. But Emrakul is now in the graveyard, so it doesn't matter.
Nick's deck is so interesting because like he doesn't have the shuffle your graveyard Drazis, which is good for like reanimation, but it's also like I feel like whenever you see Nahiri in like a modern deck, you want the ones that shuffle, and then you can do the -8 to get the Drazi back.
Well, what can it get? What can Nahiri get now? What's remaining?
So Nick he could get an Arbor Elf. That would help around.
Oh, I guess a Worm Coil Engine.
Yeah, come on.
So Nick actually has 2 Emrakuls.
Oh.
So what went to the yard? The 13 cost one?
But not the 15 cost one.
Okay. And then Nick.
Why is he attacking?
Nick
Just to get Oak?
Nick's hiding his frog behind to make it a surprise blocker.
He played the frog in defense mode.
He hit it. It's like one of those spiders that hides underneath a rock. Except it was a frog horror. A frog horror.
So Joe's just mana screwed. Like, this is kind of a bad game.
Yeah, this isn't a game. But also, like, was he on the
But
player
on Nick's side, it was very much a game.
And Nick drew sort of well, but I guess looted as well.
Did
So,
you
yeah.
Oath?
No.
No.
He has never had the opportunity to Oath. He either had 0 or 1 creature in play when...
No, did he have it that one turn? How did he play? Oh, okay.
He cast it that turn. You only get it at the beginning of... Oath triggers at the beginning of the turn. So you need to pass and pass back with one more creature.
So, yeah, if you remember, Joe dismembered his Mother of Ruins to not trigger Oath for Nick.
Okay.
So Nick needs to not overthink this and just get the 15/15 Annihilator 6. Probably would be a play here.
I would think so. If that's...
I'm talking to 2 people that didn't think Ashen Rider.
Shut up.
Gotti.
Were we never confirmed that he could actually cast the Ashen Rider.
I know, I went back and forth on it. Well, in our defense, it was like you were accounting for like 5 mana that wasn't in lands. You were like, wait, so the swamp turns into a Dirk Ritual, which turns into a...
He totally could have cast it.
But this was really fun. I think Nick found the even more fun line, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, again...
and also, if you're Nick here, to be fair, I would be thinking about what Joe could have, which he could easily have, unless this is... Oh, no, this is pro-colored spells. Never mind. This is the pro-colored spell.
The worst thing he could have is, like, Palace Jailer.
No, I'm thinking like a path to exile.
creature.
Like a path to exile, but it's so hard to keep these Eldrazi straight. So
He
this
couldn't
is.
even cast a Path of Exile if he doesn't have a land.
Oh, I was talking about this turn. I was saying
okay.
why Nick was even taking like 2 seconds.
All right,
I
well,
was
we
thinking,
don't-
Well, if I were Nick, I would think that Joe has it.
Unfortunately, we don't have
Swords.
Nick's sideboard, so I don't know. I don't know what the option. Well, actually, maybe we do.
Yeah, can we?
Oh,
go
we
to
do.
the
We do.
link?
We do. We
Can you
do.
go to the non-visual link?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
to
no,
pull
we
it
do.
up?
Okay, so I mean, I don't know if Nick needs anything to come in. Like
Jeez, I don't know what
He
this
saw
card
2
does.
cards out of.
Bitter Blossom, I guess, is a nice little blocker. Or
Oh, interesting. He's not playing sneak attack.
not playing Sneak Attack. That is odd. I mean, I guess red is
Not
kind of just a
playing-
splash.
He's a lot of playables here.
And what's Joe got?
Joe doesn't have a lot on the side.
I mean,
I
I guess
was
playing.
gonna say, isn't Joe the one who doesn't have options?
Well, I guess playing mono.
Because he doesn't have that many white.
Elspeth, but
He doesn't have very many white cards, does he? Like in his.
No,
He has Elspeth and Elishnorn, and I think you bring in Elspeth because I feel like a board wipe could actually be good against Nick if you're in a pretty desperate situation.
Yeah,
Before the
it's
game started, I was confused why Joe had a Wrath of God main deck. Would you keep it in though? Are you saying you're that scared of the creatures? I mean,
I just don't know how he deals with them.
I think Elspeth is a counter to. I mean, it's a bad counter, but it's a counter to Oath on coming and going. It makes more guys than your opponent. And oh wait, no, you don't want. I always forget how Oath works. You don't want more guys. You want less guys.
Well, I think you're.
I mean, you're just simply not gonna beat like the Nahiri hasted Emrakul stuff. So like, I would go under it.
No.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, an Elspeth costs 6, and there's no. From what I can.
I mean, all Joe needs to do is cast Winter Orb, and then
yeah, a Winter Orb is a
gives
really
him
good
so much time.
example. Yeah, a Winter Orb's a good example. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't looking there if he mulliganed or if he. So it's on.
He mulliganed
Yeah.
once, and I think it
He
was
was
correct. His original
6 on the
hand was
play or draw?
Sun Titan. He was 6 on the play. Yeah,
Why
his
can't I
original hand was Sun Titan and Porcelain Legionnaire. And I was like, in 5 lands? 4. He had something else, but it was not good.
Yeah. So I think Joe's not making any changes here. Nick.
You're just mulliganing differently too. I mean, I think I would.
Yeah.
It's funny. They're
Or
clearly they're
Gitlock here.
making
I
some.
think if I was Joe, I would mulligan pretty aggressively for Winter Orb. Because like
Oh,
you only need
interesting.
2 lands to cast it, and if you do,
Well-
it gives you so much time.
I think Joe actually has a lot of game against Nick here with like Esper Sentinel, Thalia type cards. Like those taxing cards are gonna be good here.
okay,
I think
Right, that's what I'm
Nick
saying.
needs to
In
cast
my
non-creatures.
In my games against Joe, like that's what he did. Is he Winter Orb as fast as possible, and then he ran out those cards because he could he just play a land and then be like, okay, I'm going to play my Esper Sentinel and I'm going to hold up 4 mana for next turn when I could actually play my
Alright,
whatever.
here we
Play
go.
hold.
I mean, it's not unreasonable.
Toxic Deluge
Well,
is going to be spicy.
See, I don't think I would.
Good call.
I just don't. This is like this. You look at Joe's, and I'm just like, I don't want to see a Wrath of God in the deck or hand. Like,
both hands are very medium. But actually, very bad. Both hands are bad.
I think
Nick has colors. Oh wow, Joe's
you
not
keep
even.
the Toxic Deluge.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, like
I guess-
he
yeah,
can't
I guess
cast
against
the,
Joe, that's true.
Utopia Sprawl, but other than that, he has a lot of colors. He has a lot of fixing, right? Like he has actual Wooburg, right?
Yeah.
Like he has every different color as disposal, and Worm Coil. I would just assume in the dark is good against White Wing.
Well, he just drew the worm coil.
Never feels bad.
Honestly, if I were Joe, I would try to top deck Black Lotus. I think that's a bit of a punt.
Yeah.
So do you think Joe?
It's a punt that he didn't do it here.
Do you think Joe's gonna name Black Lotus?
I think it was kind of a misplay.
Oh God, he should. It was a great draw for Joe, though. As much as I think he should have willed himself to top deck a Black Lotus. I mean, so what else would you consider naming him?
From what I saw last game, like I mean, I guess Joe has the deck list, but
You gotta name Lotus. I mean, here you can pressure with creatures, but like...
I guess, yeah, you name Lotus because that's the thing that will kill you as quickly as possible, right? Like, Lotus is what's gonna allow Nick to go, turn to Nahiri or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, I've been on...
Not even... He's about to turn to, like... Well, he can't quite turn to Wormcoil, but he's close.
He's close.
I've been on both ends of these, and I get that it's frustrating when the commentators just react knowing the hands, but...
No, I mean...
I think even if I were in Joe's seat, I would Lotus. Because it's also like, your Lotus opponent always keeps it in hand. They usually play it out very often, so it's something he could easily have. Nick could just slam a 5-drop. Okay. Interesting.
Oko's not a bad one.
No,
Interesting.
Oko's scary.
Because I do think Oko, like, messes Joe's shit up more than, like, Nahiri.
And Lotus is tough, right? Like, Lotus, you're kind of assuming you're seeing that turn 1, right? Like...
No, I was trying to argue that I don't think you do. Like, if your opponent doesn't have just, like, a bomb drop, usually you sandbag it until the turn, you just go, boom, 5-drop, or boom. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right that you sandbag it, but I guess, like, after turn 1, if you don't see it, you kind of, like, take a breath, right? Because
I know the only games that I've run it out is I've run it out when I knew my opponent had lots of discard. When you play against the, like, Hymn to Turok deck, you run it out on the board, but that's the only time. I mean, we'll say Oko's a good draw. It's a good name. And Sentinel's a goodish draw.
Yeah.
As much as you want to play more pressure than this on your turn 3 with your beatdown deck, but it's fine.
I mean, it's the best he's got.
I can't with this deck. I can't. It's so funny. It's so funny. I love
What do you do here?
I mean,
this is one of the,
I
most...
feel like you got a Wormcoil, right? Like,
yeah.
This is one of the most, like,
Factor
skill
Fiction is
intensive
great.
hands.
I just don't know what Joe's deck is doing with Wormcoil Engine.
This is, like, gotta be one of the most,
he's got a Wrath of God, but it's still like, no, he's not, because he would lose way more than Nick would.
Joe's gonna Wrath of God.
Wrath of God with a Wormcoil Engine on the battlefield?
Yeah, Joe wants to give Nick both Wormcoil tokens.
Yeah, both sides of Wormcoil and kill all of his own creatures. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Does Joe remember the Sentinel trigger? Here's what's important. Does Joe remember the Sentinel trigger? This is the game. This is the ball game.
In my experience, no.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, I think he did, because he just paid 1.
No, he didn't pay 1. Now he's tapping 3. Interesting. Do we intervene?
Wait, hold on.
Wait, 1, 2. No, he paid.
1, 2, 3, 4,
You
plus
think
7.
so? That's
Yeah, that's 7. Sheesh.
No, that's 6. That's 6.
No, it's
The black land is just 3, and then you have 1, 2, 3 in addition. That's 6. Dark Ritual gives you 2 mana. Just think of it like
on top
the
of
way a
Oh.
Signet gives you 1 mana.
So should we?
Should we intervene?
Yeah.
I feel
Hold
like
on.
we should.
Yes.
I'm going in. Yo, Joe, you missed a S% trigger on that last thing.
Doesn't it say non-creature?
Yeah, you cast the Dark
so it's
Ritual.
non-creature. Oh, you did cast Dark Ritual. Yeah.
Oh, Dark Ritual.
Yeah.
True. Good
Cool.
catch.
Cool. All right, y'all sort it out.
Thanks.
Part of me thinks you should just factor. Like, don't spew your ritual. Just factor fiction. Like, for setup.
I
Because
think
then
this-
you untap with, like, a billion mana, and you either
this
set up...
just blocks down the game for him. Like, this completely stops whatever Joe was gonna do.
I wouldn't know, because Joe could just have something like Palace Jailers or Sword
House
Slashers.
top deck, yeah.
I mean, I get that, I know. But I'm saying, well, you know to put the white deck on that, right? Like a simple...
an exile.
Exile.
effect.
Yeah, an active exile, an O-ring, even, not even bomb cards.
No, I agree. I would feel... I understand why Nick did it. I would feel in his situation like Factor Fiction is cool. And, like, if it goes sideways, like, I'm gonna lose a lot of life in the next, like, 2 turns.
Are y'all?
No, yeah, I'm not that confident in my decision, but
Are
I
y'all-
think Factor Fiction could also set you up for, like, you know,
Yeah, 100%.
something like a, you know, with like reanimation
And,
stuff.
you
It
know,
would be letting Joe draw a
We'll
card.
see over the next few turns, like what he would have.
Oh, totally.
Palace Jailer is
I mean, this is
a great
insanely
draw.
good for Joe.
That's a great draw.
I don't know. I think Joe's the Wrath of God.
Deluge is.
Honestly,
He's looking hot right now.
Oh, Deluge is gonna be.
oh, that's true. I was just thinking how
He's gonna lose his Wormcoil Electric altogether.
No, you got to get the Monarch though.
That's what I'm saying. He won't be able
He's
to get the
never.
Monarch.
Yeah, Nick's not getting the Monarch for like several turns.
Yeah, that's fine. He's got like it's still over there.
I'm saying it's good for Joe, right? That's what we're saying.
Yeah, it's
Well, Joe's
pretty
still
good.
ahead.
I still feel like getting all of your creatures just deluged is not
It's
great.
pretty bad, but he can follow up with Hero Blade Hold, and Nick can't do anything for fact. But he's not even doing that either.
The question is,
Is he
does
busting
Nick
the
does Nick
tokens
get greedy and hold Toxic Deluge and try to get another creature?
Maybe.
I mean, what? How much mana does he have?
Hmm.
A lot of pressure.
I mean, he's not. Yeah, he won't. But
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait,
What? For 5? No, for
4.
He's
4. He's paying the Esper. He's paying the Esper Sentinel.
yeah, but that's still 5.
You got to make sure that you pay for Esper. You know,
Oh, he played the
double.
pool tapped, probably.
Oh, that's the difference. You're right. Could you have gotten Sprawl on the board for 2 life? Maybe you don't want to risk the 2 life.
He did
Go like-
because he took the 2 life for the pool untapped.
You're right. Oh,
Wait,
no,
you took the 2 life?
He did, yeah.
Doing some mountain.
No. That's the 2 life for Deluge. He's doing it with 2
Deluge.
damage.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
If you pay life for that.
Yeah. The weirdness of
No, he doesn't get that back.
I'm gonna give him 10 seconds before we. Maybe he's asking Nick to put it in his exile zone.
I'm saying it and leave shit.
He gets it back when he becomes the Monarchs. That's right. Yeah.
Technically, Joe still. I mean, doesn't control
Okay.
it.
All right.
Did they do it or should
Yeah,
I?
they did.
Okay,
They did.
good. Okay, good.
Put it in the
That's fine.
weird pile. I don't think that. I think maybe I'm wondering if he thinks that it will come back once he becomes the Monarch, which is no longer the case.
Is it not? No, you're right, because Palace Jailer is just gone.
Palace Jailer's gone, so it doesn't. We should just.
Oh, is that how that works? Wait, after
Yeah.
it dies?
Because there's nothing on the Monarch that says, like,
I got it.
Yes, I don't remember that.
actually, I don't know.
Palace Jailer leaving the battlefield won't cause the exiled creature to return. The game will continue to watch for the next time an opponent becomes the Monarch.
Okay.
I think it does keep watching. It is weird though. It doesn't. I wouldn't be able to fully explain it.
Yeah, it's like one of those weird things where, like, the card is gone, but the effect
Yeah,
is
what's
still
watching,
around.
right? Yeah, what's watching for it? Yeah, I couldn't explain it.
It's one of those things where, like, the weird little rectangle would show up on MTG Arena.
I guess, but even then, the things that cause that to happen are like an effect for the turn, or like
Yeah.
I guess you could have an effect for the rest of the, not just emblems,
Yeah.
but like
Is that really what happens? It seems so weird.
it's what it seems like on if you looked up on Scryfall.
Yeah, Ian, that's not correct. Don't lie to that.
Crazy. Okay, well,
Yeah, it's saying here, Palace Jailer leaving the battlefield won't cause the exiled creature to return. The game will continue to watch for the next time an opponent becomes the Monarch.
We're really bogging them down with a lot of rule stuff.
Nick was on it. Copy pasting from the Scryfall bot. You know, I gotta say,
False. Wow, he hit you with the false.
I'm alright with that.
Gotta say, I'm a big fan of the Scryfall bot.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
Scryfall bot is playing
Maybe
Hogak.
literally.
What?
When you do the question mark, it gives you the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Nothing? I was proud of that one. No?
Oh,
Did you say we didn't hear you?
sorry, no, it's
Oh.
the joke in the Discord.
It's in
And,
it's a chat.
It's in the
Text-only joke.
Sorry.
How fun is Nick's deck? How fun is, like, we have no clue what his deck's about to do. He has, like, a Lotus in hand, and then he has a Factor. Like, his hand could be anything.
So what's the hold up here?
Could be a boat.
Okay, I mean,
I'd rather be in Joe's shoes now, probably, but like
Joe is still ahead, I think, by
I'm
quite a
not
bit.
sure.
Joe's drawing
I'm
an
not
extra card a
sure.
turn. Joe's got to counsel judgment.
He's just Monarch for the foreseeable future. Like, when could Nick possibly get Monarch in like 3 turns? Like,
No, yeah, that's very true.
Like Joe is very ahead. He needs to, but Joe needs to also close the game out quickly because as we've
he's
seen,
not been very
Well,
fast.
let me
The
tell you something
clock's
about
been
Hero
slow.
Blade Hold. That'll end the game quickly.
well, that's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
Yeah, I only mentioned that clause because Rob and I had a game where the card remained exiled for the rest of the game, so now I'm a little peeved.
Wait, you're saying a different card worked like this?
No,
or?
Palace Jail. He used Palace Jailer on me, and the card remained exiled. Even when I became black. So
Well, there's a reason we're kicking Rob out of New York.
Yeah. Enjoy Philly. Cheater.
cheesesteak.
Oh, these are sweet soldier tokens. Are other people seeing like unglued era one? Looks like unglued.
No, I've got the Time Spiral remastered or whatever, which are pretty sick. They've got a very like Dune kind of a Mad Max vibe to them.
Oh, I'm looking these up.
Yeah, Time Spiral remastered. It's pretty cool. So I mean, okay, what how does Nick get out of this? Like, Factor Fiction is.
Factor Fiction is a way to get out.
I mean, yeah, you just have to play it.
Vindicate's good.
Yeah, but it's gonna go in the graveyard, or I guess it goes into 2 piles. Sorry.
No. Yeah, you pick the one with Vindicate.
He still has the Damnation in deck, right?
I mean,
there's still a
Nahiri.
Damnation floating somewhere.
Do you think you don't pick the pile with Nahiri in it? Nahiri takes care of Blade Holes.
Because you're never gonna get to.
What are you talking about?
No, we're just saying
Nahiri's
address.
just gonna die. It's the same thing.
Address the blade hold.
But Nahiri also gains you life essentially because he has to kill the Nahiri.
That's true.
Interesting. And Joe also chose, we didn't comment on this, to play super cautious around the Wrath here. Like, just attacked with hero, didn't do anything, right?
Right.
Yeah. I think if I was Joe, I would have ran out the Spectral Procession.
I think you play one thing, right? Like,
The Spectral,
you're monarching, you'll draw more gas,
Next
right?
turn, you're gonna, like, fucking jam.
Yeah,
around.
that's well, I guess
If you're Joe, how do you
probably
split?
lethal no matter what if hero doesn't die, but
Is this the
Well, but that's what I'm
split?
saying. Is like,
Wait, hold on. Is this the split?
this isn't the split, is it?
It's Liliana or Nahiri and Vindicate? I think you have to split Nahiri and Vindicate into 2 piles, and that's kind of the best.
It's clunky to cast those cards, especially if like Joe's going wide, right? Like you don't want to like Nick cast a Nahiri, then the next turn, what you're paying 3 mana kill like a token. There's some. I'm so tempted for a second black because I want to draw Damnation. This Lily is an
Yeah,
entrance
you have
hero.
Black
Well,
Lotus in hand.
what I'm trying to think through right
That's
now
fair,
is
true.
what I'm trying to think through right now is how Joe splits this, and I think he's more or less figured it out.
I think it's pretty good.
I think that's
I
about
wouldn't want landing. I feel like I would nick that. I'm also stuck on. I would have put one more threat into play. You're the monarch. Like you have to hope you're drawing gas. Oh wait.
he's
And he kind of is. I mean, he has so many more creatures in hand.
I would have totally. And that's the thing is you can't play that with Nick's deck. Like you're thinking, oh, play around the second Wrath, but like Nick's just gonna
I
pop
will
off.
say this to what Cosmin and I were talking about. I do think Vindicate plus Liliana is better than Nahiri because that is 2 creatures dead. And if Nick wants to kill, or if Joe wants to kill the Liliana, you're still gaining you that life.
Yeah, no, this is interesting. I wasn't in agreement, but it might play out to like prove your point. This might definitely could just prove
Well,
that you're right.
I kind of agree about the Nahiri, but then if he gave, because he gave him the Lily too. which
I
is
guess I
another
wasn't
spell
thinking too
for
hard
the next
about.
one.
You're right. I wasn't thinking too hard about the Lily. I was thinking.
I mean, it
Well,
looks
you won
phenomenal.
it, so you should have been thinking a little harder about it.
Okay, all right. Well, I think.
Got it.
Oh my god.
Gumi? That's a yadi.
Okay.
That's a yadi.
Feel me?
Gumi? If you are asking me. No, I mean, this looks great. You get to plus a Lily to kill Toka. Like, this turn looks great for Nick. I was thinking the Joe split was wrong because I was thinking, oh, Nick would never not pick Nick land. Like, I thought that was juicy, but
I mean,
I see
okay.
this line. This makes a lot of sense.
If we're still being honest, like Nick has to spend 3 cards to get rid of Hero Blade Hold and a
Yes.
Soldier token.
But like Hero has to go.
No, of
like-
course. But what I'm saying is Joe still had. Because Joe can play Council's Judgment.
You gotta think tempo though, and like,
But Joe-
Joe's being too slow. Like
No,
Nick's just gonna
no.
be like, oh, cool, you're being very judicious and very like thoughtful, and I'm just gonna like,
But look at
you're gonna have waited too long, and I'm just gonna be like, here's an Emerald.
But look at Nick's hand and look at Joe's hand. Joe's been drawing an extra card a turn. Joe's got Nick to 5. Joe's gonna still have a Soldier token on the battlefield. Like Joe can go Council's Judgment
I
on
mean,
your
but
Lily.
Lily is good, right? I mean, Lily's gonna keep answering.
Lily is action.
No, but like,
And
but-
you're going to suspend the Ancestral. I will say that, yeah, I mean, the really downside about this line was that you just spewed the Lotus. I mean, what I liked about the Nahiri pile, you weren't
I think
just
what you-
throwing away Black Lotus. Like, you could have pitched a dead Sprawl and a pretty much, like, not helpful Visions, right?
I think what you
could
guys
have,
are-
could have pitched 2 shit cards.
I think what you guys are missing is that Joe has a Council's Judgment in hand. So like the Liliana's not a problem. He just goes Council's
It's
Judgment.
almost always a problem for stack every draft.
It's true.
But Joe just goes Council's Judgment, play another creature, keep swinging, and like and then Nick needs to draw another answer right away.
No, yeah, Nick is not in a good position at all here. I mean, he's going to be completely empty-handed. Suspended Vision. It's not going to... I wish Joe had more on the board than a 1/1, but
I think
It is what it
if I'm
is, you know?
Joe,
Yeah, I feel like Nick's deck though, like we said, literally anything could come off the top of the deck, and we would just have to be like, okay.
yeah, but it's less so now because like you need to draw multiple things, right? Like what's one card that could do it from here? Like Nick only has 6 mana. Like it's not infinite mana.
No, but let's.
I think it's Council's Judgment
I know,
Spectral.
I
I think
I'm
it's
the one who said I preferred Joe's position for sure.
I think it's Council's Judgment, Spectral Possession here, and you like go wide and like I don't know. I honestly don't see how Nick's beating that, but
I don't either. Yeah, I mean Joe's deck is just so gassed up. Yeah, I mean just throw it all.
Yeah, I think the best thing that Nick could possibly flip off the top is Damnation at this point.
Yeah, like you get Joe to.
Like I'm looking at his deck list right now, and I'm like, maybe it's Ponder to hit Damnation, but like,
Sure. Yeah, I'm trying to think what
that's
else.
Ponder is literally the only card draw he has left.
no, I mean Nick sort of needs a glass cannon. Like Nick needs like a win the game button pretty much now because like again, like Joe plays another threat here. Nick draws a damnation. He has to play it immediately, and then Joe still has.
What about something like Oath? What if Nick ripped Oath? Or
you need to wait a turn cycle. Which
I guess I'm not appreciating that.
Nick's I think Nick's pretty much dead. If I were Joe, I would have
damnation.
Yeah.
The damnation buys him a turn.
But
you just time walk and you get rid of this good creature. Adeline's really good. Because I'm thinking, what's Joe putting on the board next?
Well, Joe's just drawing 2 cards a turn. Like he's just drawing whenever you attack.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
That fucking Adeline card is a fucked up card.
Adeline is messed up.
All right.
Well, we're glad we saw a game. We're gonna get a game 3 here. Not to jump ahead, but
to jump ahead a little bit.
Jump ahead a little. I'm not gonna keep harping on Joe, but are you sure you still want Wrath of God for?
Maybe not. Maybe I'll take it out.
All right, that looks like game 3. I'm gonna get another bag of ice from my ankle.
Oh no! What did I miss this from the Discord? Is there a kettlebell chat that I missed?
I played.
Is there a kettlebell specific chat?
No,
I
played.
Didn't catch up on the
pickup.
kettlebell thing. There's a couple hundred messages. I haven't read it yet.
I'll tell you when I get back. It's not actually very exciting at all. But
oh wait, so I'm looking at the Discord now. There's a Paul Sampson specific. There's a kettlebell group. Oh, it could be in the Cosme's health tab. Cosme's health.
Cosme health updates daily.
Cosme health updates. Okay, could be that one. I swear to God, I looked away from my phone for an hour. That was wild.
It was insane. It was insane.
I went, okay, they're not crazy. They just created these groups, and then I'm like, oh, a little thoughtful thing at the top, like don't put memes in this one. I was like, oh, that's reasonable. And then I looked at one of them, and it had 100 messages. I was like, oh, that's weird. The other one had like over 100 messages. It was just like, oh, what the fuck happened? Like,
so how do reacting with emojis work? I don't understand that. Like, where are all these new ones coming from?
Robert and I are making them.
Okay.
how do you make them?
You can just add emojis of basically any image.
You regret telling me that.
So wait, did somebody say that we're having a Paul Sampson's Disciples thread or a channel?
Taylor as official Lords East president, I will also give you good boy status.
I honestly don't even think I deserve it. I'm not to be trusted with memes and general tomfoolery.
Taylor, the ice, if you must know, is because I played pickup soccer for the first... Well, not pickup soccer, but I played soccer for the first time in like 2 years and immediately rolled my ankle.
Oh, man. Remember when we played soccer together, Cosme?
I do, and I couldn't fucking run because I'm a slow piece of shit, and I felt the exact same way, except I played a little bit better, and...
but you rolled your ankle.
Proud of you.
And then I rolled my ankle. But I think I'm okay. I think it'll be better in like a week.
Shorty.
I rolled my ankle, I remember rolling my ankle really bad a couple years ago, and I was out for like months. Like my ankle.
Damn, Shotty, that ankle fat.
That's right.
How'd you roll it?
Oh, this is a hand for Nicholas. This is a hand and a half.
I totally told my mom the Paul Sampson tale and showed her a picture. It was very fun.
Nice.
I don't know why, but she liked it. Good story.
And was she like, so where did he live again?
I don't think she was into it. I can never tell her to.
Yeah. Hey, boys. Paul Sampson, did you fuck my mom?
We still need to watch that movie on Amazon. Fuck, there's the
Pacific Rim?
The Paul Sampson movie. To me, the charming part about the story is that Cosme was like, I'm gonna drive to Hell's Kitchen to get kettlebells, a set of kettlebells off Craigslist. And lo and behold, I was shocked that the person I met with, Paul Sampson's like the least person, you're gonna buy kettlebells from off Craigslist in Hell's Kitchen like that. Who were you expecting?
I didn't get there and was like, oh my god, it's Paul Sampson. I was like, oh my god, who is this fucking weirdo? And then I looked him
I'm
up.
saying you should have gone into it expecting to meet someone weirder than Sampson is my point.
Oh, I
Can we
see.
briefly come back to the game? Because
No, we definitely
these
can't.
are very hot hands.
Ah, damn it. I was going to say Nick was close to a turn. He was, yeah, because he could have swept into a first. So he could have had a turn 2 Oko.
Yep.
Yeah.
One card
Maybe
away.
it was the way to go.
No, I mean, because he top decked the Sprawl. He didn't
Oh.
top deck Sprawl. That was the. I was scared looking at his deck list. First count, but he has some.
I mean, I know you say these are hot hands, but like, what Joe is behind?
Yes, Joe's very behind.
I didn't say Joe's hand was hot.
I mean, Joe having Mother of Ruins every opening hand is kind of except he's not really getting.
Which is
I
nice,
also
but
just want to
anything
stop
with
the
it.
Samson posting and just start the game commentating again.
It's just like, Mother is good when you're backing it
No,
up with a
I
clock.
do-
And,
I will say
like,
this,
and
I do think, like-
Nick's never targeting. He's never activated Mother once. He's just held Mother back to not attack like 3 turns, but he's never activated.
I guess what Mother will do.
I do think if I'm Joe here, I skull clamp next turn. And I don't feel bad about it.
As opposed to... Oh, you're saying you just throw away Mother? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think...
But then at that point, like, why keep the hand?
No, but actually,
Well, that's fair.
So this is the thing. Actually, Mother is okay against Oko. Actually, like Mother is going to protect against Oko triggers and against Nahiri triggers.
No. But you're not putting any pressure on the board, which means...
Oko's just going to get
Okay, he
keyed.
doesn't target with Oko. He just makes a food, makes a 3, makes a, you know... You just tick it up.
And have blockers for
Oh, right, because
creatures.
you can turn your food into.
I will say this, and I do want a little bit of validation. Joe did bring in the Elspeth.
You
No, I mean, it's good. It's funny. It's hard to tell how open White was, because in some ways, either Joe got into it late or it wasn't really open. 'Cause it just feels like he's a little light on balls, but
Yeah.
the deck's good. I would play the 2-drop though. I wouldn't play. I'd play the 2-drop. I think.
Joe is
I think I
attacking
agree.
with the Mother of Ruins. That is
I respect it.
something.
You should. What? You're afraid he's gonna Oko it into a 3/3? Like, I'd be.
What if Mother of Ruins could protect something from the Seiju? And that's the real.
I would be overjoyed if Nick Oko'd my Mother. I'd be so. Wait, no, not.
Excuse me?
Already we talked about it a while ago.
No, Paul Sampson elked my mom, not Oko.
Sorry.
Maybe Oko's more her type.
Food token.
Oh yeah, this thing has
Such a fucked
flashed
up card.
because of the
Disgusting.
how much skin he's showing. Oh, you mean?
No, that's the best
Yeah,
part.
you shouldn't be allowed to flash in a 3-drop.
Everything below the art is disgusting.
So weird.
Got it.
So weird they printed that fucking card.
It's just the numbers. It's just every number on it is wrong. Oh wait.
It's turning.
Whoa. Can you just go land sprawl, kill Oko, or land spear? Excuse me.
No.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think you actually have the impossible, actually killing an Oko with damage. Pretty sure we have it.
yeah.
Take a moment to acknowledge
And there's
Joe's
no reason
fetch lands.
not to do it.
Oh, you're right. Oko dead. If Joe.
God,
If Joe so desires.
I think we have to call up like.
Mark Rosewater.
I was gonna say either Rosewater or Guinness Book of Records. Like, there's never
Mark,
in the
it
history of
happened.
Magic. Never in the history of Magic has Oko died from damage. Definitely not on a turn 3.
Yeah,
never has died from
Well,
damage.
if we call him, he'll be like, "Look, I told you it was fair."
Gotti.
He didn't make that fucking card.
That's a Rose.
You didn't
That's a
build.
Rose Gotti.
You didn't build that.
Nick, do the fatal push on him.
Fatal push.
Fatal push.
Mark Rosewater, Obama. Don't get me started.
We
Carry.
did it, Joe.
Dear gonna be president.
I never
Ooh,
promised
Vindicate's
you a
fun.
rose, guys.
That's totally the thing with Oko in the games, right? Is like you want to see it come down, and then you're so happy when it gets answered because
Well,
like,
because
you get to watch a real game.
now the game is not about Oko.
Well, the games are just over. Like I feel like every time to me, I'm like I have an Oko and Robert has like a spell pierce, and it's like, well, I'm sad I'm not winning, but like we're gonna play a real game of Magic now, as opposed to turn 2-0.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know where the fuck
This game is still well in the balance. I mean, Nick's got all the answers. Joe's got some.
Oh yeah, 100%. Joe's got some pressure.
Well, not anymore.
Take that
Well,
back.
no, I don't think you do that now.
Yeah, I think
That's like one of his 2 answers to Joe's wide ass board.
Yeah, I think you're right. You let Joe kind of hang himself a little bit more.
You just vindicate the spear and it's fine. Or you besage the spear. You besage the spear and it's even better.
Really? Y'all think that was wrong?
Yes.
I feel like I would have done that.
Because Nick doesn't give a shit about Mother of Runes the same way Joe shouldn't. Like,
It's true. Nick's deck doesn't care about it. It's just not a targeting deck. But it was.
and it's like two of the things in his hand. Right, but you kill the spear, and then you're only taking 4, and it's fine.
I guess it's just I don't mind wrathing knowing I hate Nate too. Like I feel like he's backing it up. But,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it was the right play knowing their hands. I'm trying again. It's try not to picture his hand.
I don't know, though, because I guess Joe's a little far from Elspeth. I was going to say, because if Joe
Curse is just weird.
slams at Elspeth and it's just like, oh, I'm going to keep making creatures, you're going to feel pretty bad about that damnation.
He's never ramping, so it's just Elspeth is so fair and so slow.
Yeah.
Just the curve is high, right? Like he's got the Sun
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Elspeth. It's a bit top heavy. I'm not blaming Joe. Like more power to him especially if he
I
got
don't know, I think
like,
Elspeth's pretty reasonable. She's not like Oko.
Does Boseiju kill planeswalkers?
No. It's enchantment artifact.
Interesting.
I
So
don't.
Nick's just going for. Here's a real question: would you have? I guess you go for the spear over the skull clamp. I don't even.
Yeah, I think so.
Weirdly,
think
with
what-
spear out, you can never skull clamp kill your own stuff though. You can't suicide
That's
yourself
true.
with skull clamp with spear out.
But I don't know that it super matters.
So Elspeth comes down next turn. I guess he's Boseiju the Phyrexian Revoker. That's good. Man, Boseiju is fucked up. That card is.
Boseiju is fucked up, and especially because it's uncounterable.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's the most fucked up part about it, because it's a
I mean, not like disallow type stuff.
Yes, but
If you're playing
the
something
fact
this
that-
powerful, there is counter.
So I haven't done the like, what's the best modern card in the new set? But it's got to be Boseiju, right?
I do
I
love
would
those videos you do with Saffron Olive.
Yeah, those are so fun.
What is
It's so
okay, guys?
What do you think that's good? And
Robin's
goes,
better notice.
I don't know what's the best card in the whatever voice you just did. I like being Nick here.
I got it.
I like doing the like. I don't know. I mean, I like being able to hear for Nick. Elspeth is like, okay, you make 3/1/1. They don't kill him. Like you get two turns with Nahiri here.
I mean, like, the key thing is Nick still has the Vindicate in hand
interesting.
for Elspeth.
Okay, so just pitched one card, so only drew one.
I will say this: like 3/1/1s is relevant against Nick.
Ooh, is he?
I
Oh,
don't know about this at all.
Nick.
The problem is the Nahiri looting is so much worse when you're doing it for 2 cards. I guess I just don't. It's a bummer to see.
I don't get the Vindicate on the skull.
Mm-mm. Oh, Caracas is a hot ad.
I feel like that play is very different if you're in like full spiky, we're playing VRD mode where I'm looking at your deck list. Because I feel like if I were Nick in this and I looked at your deck list, I would be like, what the fuck's in your hand? It's got to be one of the 6s. But if I wasn't looking at the deck list, I don't know.
But I mean, the question is like, what
makes more sense.
The question is like, what would you rather be doing, like dealing with like Skull Clamp and a bunch of 1/1s, or Elspeth? You know what I mean?
I mean, we're starting from the assumption that he knows Elspeth's in hand?
No, we're not starting from the assumption that he's there was like Skull Clamp wasn't doing anything.
Yeah, but it could real quick. I mean, it could have turned into like several cards and Vindicate sorcery. So like, I think Nick's line made some sense. Ooh, just slam it.
That's a good thing, but it's just gonna die when you get 3/3s, which is still good. But well, actually, no, it's gonna get Parallax Wave. That's what's gonna happen. But
Yeah, I mean that's the real problem with it. It's just the Parallax Wave. But if not for that, I think that would stabilize interestingly. Definitely remember to tick up Nahiri, right? Oh, please tell me. Okay, thank you. Thought he passed the turn.
Huh. I still think
Joe always drawing gas.
Joe, I mean, Joe's ahead. He can play both. Well, I guess he can't play both things. I mean, Joe's just about to start pooping out 1/1s. Like,
I gotta be honest. I think even before the Vindicate play, I think doesn't Caracas just like end this game? Like, how does Nick attack? Nick needs 2 Eldrazi to attack now.
well, Nick's got other big dumb.
Not really.
I mean, Gitrog.
He's got the Gitrog monster, which is also legendary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Every single one of Nick's creatures is a legendary creature, I'm pretty sure.
So you're saying he should have saved Vindicate for Caracas?
No, okay, he's got Ashen Rider.
Okay, he's Action Rider.
He's got Tireless Tracker, and he's got Arbor Elf, so, you know. Caracas is
notable great attackers.
Caracas is hot, you're right.
I think Caracas is really hot against Nick.
I mean, and Wormcoil, like, Wormcoil, if Joe doesn't have a way to answer a Wormcoil, like, I don't know how Joe...
It's been convenient that Nick has had that Joe's had those clean answers to the Wormcoil.
That's not going to do it, Nick. Well, okay, actually, but still the trigger is relevant, right? Like, if he can play it, which he can't, I don't think. 6?
I mean, how close is he? What's in the yard? 1, 2, 3, 4.
No, it's 3.
So it's
Three
it's
types.
4. Oh, wow. For some reason the thing separates Boseiju because it's a legendary land, which I think counts for Emrakul.
Legendary land, really?
Legendary's not a type.
No, it's
Tribal's a type. Legendary is not.
Tribal is a type. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I'm only seeing
It
lands.
is weird. It is weird that Cockatrice separates them though, because if you separate by type, it puts Boseiju in its own.
Mine has
column.
them together.
Do you sort by type at the top?
Yeah, sort by type and pile view, and sort by name.
Is my thing just too small? Maybe I just have a too small of a window.
It's not actually letting me make it bigger.
It doesn't.
My thing is small and it won't get bigger.
It won't get bigger.
Well, we've all been there.
Not Paul Sampson.
Paul Sampson is huge. Well,
Nick's fucked. This sucks. What the hell happened?
Nick is pretty messed.
I know.
Like,
I mean, I think vindicating the Skull Clamp happened. Like, if he had killed Elspeth, he would be in a bad position, but he would just be facing 3/1/1s instead of 6 with 3 more every turn.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but I don't think it was wild. I think the bad part about it was
It was wild, but like
he just didn't have anything else, and like
yeah. I mean now he just has to hold on till Ancestral pops and hope he gets his deluge.
you need to draw real well. I mean, maybe it was.
This is a food token, which is not irrelevant.
And maybe that turn that you two don't play Damnation too. That's another.
I mean, yeah,
a turn.
I would agree with that still.
Boy, I'm getting. Joe's drawn hot.
Dismember is good. Dismember.
Yeah, you need to live to see the Ancestral grow off. Can we just all admit that Ancestral Visions is just a bad card? Like
Yes.
that card's time has just came and went.
I would take
a chart
It's a
course over it
terrible
like
card.
9 times out of 10.
It is a there's one of those what's the channel? Not limited resources, but Channel Fireball YouTube videos where they go over the top 100 cards of Magic like ever printed, and I just always have in my head like this thing of Reed Duke saying like, if you're playing Vintage Cube, like that's just always the card you want to see. Like I just remember him being over the moon, being like, dude, you are too used to playing Vintage Cube in like 2003. Like it's just
Yeah.
there's definitely an era where this card was great in cubes, and like we are so far past it. It's just
I will
glacially
stand by what I said. I would take charter course over it every time.
I think I would take
Almost
strategic
every time.
planning over
Almost.
it. I would take
Well, let's not.
I would take a lot of things. It's just so it needs to be suspend 3 or something. It's just I've never seen it go off. Like
Mark
it's
fix it.
win more. It's win more. If you're gonna survive 4 turns to see that thing, then it's like you've won the game. Like you have board control as the control player, right?
Oh boy.
Oh, I guess I was gonna say like I think Nick can maybe hold out one more turn, but with Elspeth on 7, I don't think that's the math works anymore.
I don't know what.
Well, also, did Joe? Oh, he's just attacking out. He's gonna run out the blade hold.
Should he?
I mean, no.
I mean, how much? It's what? 1, 2, 3.
You want to talk
4,
about
5,
wood
6,
more?
7, 8, 9.
Nick's life is still at 17.
Times 3.
Is that true?
Yeah, the
He attacked Nahiri with all the creatures.
that ain't it,
Got him for 1
Chief.
damage. Who knows? Joe might send 10 soldiers at him.
Yeah, we're talking shit on visions. Liliana of the Last Hope's just 3 mana, kill a 1/1. Kill one of your opponent's 9/1/1. It's a terrible rate.
Get back Tireless Tracker.
Do you get back Tireless Tracker?
With Liliana. I mean, it's not gonna do
No,
anything.
no, I'm saying, do you do it?
No, I mean, I think the game's
do.
I think the game's over, right? It's like
No, you do it in order to get more cards in the yard too, because you could like flip a what's it called into the yard? Friggin' the unbarrel rights. Right?
But-
you could flip like
but this game's over next turn, like because Elspeth goes off, and then you've
emblem,
got
that's right, emblem.
and then you've got what like you've got 27 coming at you in the air.
It's 27 damage, and he could only maximum block 3, which is 24.
No, he can't because it gives it flying, right?
20.
Yeah, you literally just have to kill a thing. Yeah, given the emblem.
It doesn't matter if you kill a thing.
God, Joe.
Who knows? Maybe Joe takes like a risky conservative
No,
attack.
no, he doesn't.
It'd be nice if Nick had 1 card in hand to scare Joe. You know, like you're like, disallow your Elspeth trigger, you know, like something for Joe to be scared of. Somebody send this video to Reed Duke. Look at that fucking ancestral on one. That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing.
Is this your man?
There's no card I'd rather start.
I think that's it, Chief.
Hello, my friends. Reed Duke here.
Damn.
How many of those went to Lily? We didn't even. There was no arrows.
Yeah, come on.
All right,
let's
well,
play with arrows. Sure.
Joe took it down.
Man.
Should we jump in the general?
No, I think we let them come here, right? I think usually you let them talk.
For the post game interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you let them because sometimes they want to talk for longer.
So
What went wrong for Nick though? Like that game, I'm trying to figure out like what.
I mean, I think the two things we already the weird.
well, Joe being able to take care of Oko
The two
immediately.
things we already. Well, yes. This is the thing. Joe had an answer for literally everything Nick put in play. But
Yeah,
beyond that,
it was the anthem killing the Oko that was just like.
But I think the real misplay was Vindicate on Skull Clamp.
yes.
Like who
I think
knows?
that
Like
was bad,
like
and I think the board wipe was bad. I stand by that. I think you just killed the thing pumping, and just say next turn I'm going to play Worm Coil and stabilize.
So you don't play Vindicate. Joe lands the big Planeswalker and attaches. No, but also gets to equip. Or was that the turn? I guess not, because that wasn't the turn.
No, he doesn't, because he was on curve, so he would have to play Lily on 6 with 6 mana.
so
Elspeth,
so
yeah.
so,
Not Lily, Elspeth, yeah.
Okay,
so,
and then you kill it, but then Joe has just,
1/1s
you know,
and Skull Clamp, which like,
yeah,
Yes,
that's
he has
good.
draw 6, which is very good, but you want Joe drawing 6 cards before you want Joe attacking with Producer.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Sure.
Hello.
Hey Joe, congrats.
Thanks, man. That was a hard-earned. I haven't had a championship in a while.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
you did it.
congrats.
You took it down.
Those games couldn't have asked for better than those. Very sweet.
So how did you
Very, very juicy discussions.
how did
We
you
were
guys
convinced that was the first time in the history of Magic that someone has killed Oko with damage on turn 3. I simply don't think that's ever happened.
So how do you guys feel? What let's go Joe, what how did you feel about that?
Well, I was sad I couldn't play Winter Orb, but Winter Orb's not even good against his deck, I don't think, because he has a lot of answers to it. But like I said, you probably heard my audio. I was just really lucky that the
we weren't listening.
Skull Clamp got vindicated instead of the Elspeth a turn later.
Yeah, we were just thinking about, we were just talking that through. Like, the Elspeth obviously took you home, but Skull Clamp with the 3/1/1s would have been pretty good.
Yeah. Also, I had some backup answers if Elspeth died, like that 3/4 that Battle Cries is really good too.
Yeah. Nick, how'd you think it went?
Good. I wish. I feel like the both second and third game, my deck didn't really go off. I guess Joe just kept shutting it down.
Joe had
Yeah,
a lot of
a lot of
clean answers. Like, he needs a really clean answer for Worm Coil, which he had 2 games, right?
Two games.
Yeah,
Two
that's
games,
true.
just like right away.
Yes.
And then, yeah, I blew it with the what's it called? Vindicate. I should have held it, I guess. I was just thinking I think he had 1 card in his hand, so I was like, oh, Joe's out of gas. I'll blow up his card draw. But if I had held on to it, I could have blown up his Elspeth.
Yeah.
It felt like the big deciding factor of the game to us too, but I don't know. I mean, I keep thinking of reasons why it was the right play.
Well, if I held on to it, he would have played Elspeth, plus got the 3 guys, probably put the Skull Clamp on one of them to draw 2 cards. So I started trading it for 2 guys and like pretty much infinite card draw from Joe.
Yeah, so that was my point. I'm not sure that I agree it was right, like giving what we know, but I mean Joe had a lot of live draws there too, right? Like he could, okay, you wait, you play it, you whatever, and then he's like, okay, now I have a spectral procession I top deck, draw infinite cards off that. Like, it was more the Oko. I mean, it was like it didn't feel like it felt like answering the Oko and the worm coil were what mattered.
Yeah,
Because I don't think there was an answer. I think you were also fucked if you
Worm
if
Coil
you
and a
vindicated.
Tireless Tracker too, but I
Yeah.
mean that wouldn't have done much.
Sure. No, that wasn't.
That would have bought me one more turn, so I could have my Ancestral Vision would have gone off.
Yeah, the game was over by then. But if you had I think vindicating the Elspeth, you would have still lost. It was the prior turns, but that one sticks out.
Yeah, I think because it was at the end of the game, and also like knowing what I had in my hand, I was happy about it. But I think it was like miraculous that I could kill that Oko, because I was even counting after I cast the staff thing. I was like, wait, I have 6 power right now.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how long it took us to realize that. Like none, we just didn't realize that Oko was dead for a long time there.
Oh
We
yeah.
were just like,
Palace
oh,
Jailer
no chance for Joe here. He's dead.
Rob used Palace Jailer against me incorrectly, and that's why I thought that it worked that way. So, my bad.
You're forgiven. Yeah, I guess I had a lot of clean answers thinking back on like Palace Jailer too. But most of my cards are exile effects, honestly.
It didn't feel like you ever had a fast like opening hand. Like, oh, this isn't going to be quick enough to get under Nick.
Yeah,
But it
it's
always
more of
worked
like
out.
a prison. It feels more like a prison, like taxing deck than like
Yeah.
an aggro deck.
Yeah,
Yeah, you put enough of a clock, right? Like some of those cards are just like Adeline is just like a build your own like army.
Adelaide's fucked up.
and that was my other big play question was pulling the Worm Coil. I could have blown up the fading thing, the Parallax Wave
Mm.
with Nahiri, but I would have lost a draw, and I had several good draws I could have gotten. So I was just trying to dig, like if I hit Oath of Druids or Unburial Rites or Toxic Deluge.
I don't think I realized that was there a time when you could have Nahiri killed the what's
The
it called?
Parallax Wave.
Yeah.
The turn
In the
right
last game.
after. Yeah.
I guess we missed that because that's interesting. I don't
Yeah,
think we
it was-
talked about that up.
So it was right after he took it. I could have blown it up,
Hmm.
but
That'd be interesting.
It would have cost me a draw, and then I wouldn't have been able to discard the Emrakul, which meant I wouldn't be. Unburial Rites wouldn't do anything if I hit it.
Yeah, you weren't trying to that. It felt like you needed something like the Worm Coil in play though, because it felt like you needed to like buy more time a lot of those games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that maybe with the Ancestral Vision suspended maybe was the right play there.
Yeah.
Doc would miss that if that was the case.
Yeah, I have to see that on the tape. Was there a time when those were both? We totally.
There
Missed that.
definitely was, because I was deciding to do it because it would have put Nahiri to 1. I
Oh,
remember.
I
And
see.
then Joe would have killed her the next turn, and I would have been stuck with an Emrakul in my hand.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought they were never on the board at the same time. I can't even remember that myself.
No, the Worm Coil I played to defend Nahiri.
Yeah, no, there was the
Yeah.
turn because Joe, you swung out with like 6 creatures, and we were like, wait, did Nick not take any damage? And then I was like, oh no, he was attacking the Nahiri.
Yeah, remember you hit 5 at Nahiri, 1 at face.
Yeah, I guess I thought that I cast the Parallax when it was my turn, after you already cast the Worm Coil.
Yeah, you
And then
did.
killed the Nahiri that same turn, I thought.
Oh,
but maybe it was
no.
like another turn.
That was another game. That was the second game.
Oh, I see.
And you cast the Palace Jailer, I think, and then killed the Nahiri or something like that.
I see.
Tiny question about game one, Nick. Did you see the line that you could have played the Ashen Rider? I think Joe was still stuck on one land.
Yeah, that just felt mean.
You didn't do it out of friendship?
I mean,
Well,
I was
out of
getting
sport,
so
like,
I was getting so crushed that game.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
God.
I appreciate that.
I knew I had the game because of my hand, and I was
Also,
like, I'd rather play like a little back and forth.
That's such a great answer. Wow.
God, this is why we do the post-game interviews, you know?
This is why Nick's everyone's favorite lord, too.
It's true. This is why
What
Nick
would
has
it
no
mean?
enemies.
Yeah.
Remember when Matt did that to me?
Did it which way? What did he...
That was like one of my
Oh, I
one
know
of the
what Matt
biggest
did. Which way
blow-ups.
Matt did it.
I was like
That's true. Dumb
super
question. Dumb
droughted
question.
on lands, and I had one land, and it was like a finals.
I do remember that.
And
That
Matt-
was...
Matt
Yeah.
like blew up the land on like the third turn when I still only had one land.
Would you have played that turn differently if you were playing Matt instead of Joe?
Yeah, I would have definitely.
Oh my god, I love that. I mean, yeah, against Matt, you pretty much just have to do everything you can.
The real
Well,
answer.
I would have specifically done it to get back at him for the time he did it to me.
That makes sense. Hey, I have a question about game one. I don't know if people remember it, but there was like one decision I was trying to weigh, which was I could blow up his signet at one point with something, and I was waiting. I was like holding on to it, I guess, for something else. I can't remember what card it was.
What did you have for the signet?
It was like the council card.
Oh, but you used it for something way better.
Yeah, I waited for something way better, but I actually could have used it against the signet like earlier. I think.
I mean, you didn't hit that land until pretty late.
I mean, I was
when
ready to scoop that game on like turn 2, basically, but because
that was a weird one. Yeah, we were still getting our shit together, and I missed. So you were 6. You mulled to 6 on the play or the draw there?
on the draw.
Yeah. Okay. I guess that makes sense. It was not a great hand, but if on the draw, maybe that was.
I mean,
You
I was
just have
down
to
to
win
6, and I
this
had one land. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, yeah, your deck isn't just like 2s and 3s. It's not just like a weak deck.
Yeah.
And I do regret my sideboard decisions too. Because
What was a
never
big
got to
sideboard
see-
decision?
I never like saw your full deck. But if after playing the last game, I would have sideboarded differently.
Oh, I see. I
had like when I played Robert, who was like a aggro deck. I had Bitter Blossom and then this like life gain creature I would throw in the deck, and then I'd pull out like the Tireless Tracker and whatever else. But I wasn't sure if your deck was as aggro as it was until, and like the Bitter Blossom is good against like Planeswalkers.
Oh, true.
Yeah, that would have been really interesting to see a Bitter Blossom
Yeah.
in play.
Yeah, Blossom would have been good against my Planeswalkers.
Yeah, but then it also shuts
risky.
down Oath of Druids. That's the problem with it.
Yeah. You know, I also I sideboarded in that Elspeth, which I was pretty happy about.
Oh. So yeah, I guess I wouldn't have seen it in
I
any
think-
other games.
All the commentators were rooting for you to do that, so we were very happy to see that come in.
Oh, sideboard that in. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely noted. Like, I feel like that was the first when we were looking at your board. We were like, get that in there. Did you keep Wrath in for the third game?
Yeah, I kept Wrath in. I don't know. I don't have a super deep sideboard anyway.
Yeah, I guess follow-up question to that. Yeah, like, did you get into mono white late, or was it just not super open? Because, yeah, it's a weirdly good deck, like, for being such a good deck
For
to win
having
the
no
final.
sideboard.
Yeah, just, like, almost no bench. Just, like, no...
Oh, yeah. I was honestly in it relatively early, but I took a weird draft approach where I was, like, trying to build a very specific kind of, like, prison kind of deck, like, controlling deck with white. And have it kind of appear like an aggro deck. but then what that meant is I skipped a lot of certain cards, and I actually was kind of doing some hate drafting just to fuck with people. So there's that too.
That's the Joe way. You won your way too.
There's like a tinker in there. There's like there's a lot of hate.
Dark Depth.
Tendrils, tinker,
Dark Depth.
dark depths.
My Dark Depths.
Honestly, I would have loved to see a Massacre Worm in Nick's sideboard. Like, Nick was totally the one deck that would abuse a Massacre Worm, and this was the one matchup for that card. Like, that would have been such a different, interesting game.
I remember passing that thinking it would wheel.
Which card?
Because no one ever takes Massacre
Little
Worm.
did you know.
It's a
It gives
6-mana,
everything
6/5.
-2/-2, and
Yeah,
it's a creature.
-2/-2.
Oh, I'm thinking of the Death Coil Worm or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Wormcoil Engine?
That's weird, too, that someone else must have been taking white weenie cards, too. It's like, why didn't they on the table for you? Usually at the end of the pack would be like...
I was definitely passing. I was passing some weenie stuff around because I just didn't want to build that kind of deck.
Yeah.
Good job.
But you would think you would just end up with it. But yeah, you built the sick one. Yeah, like we were saying, like you won the Joe way. You're like, I'm gonna take the fetch lands from my mono deck. I'm hate draft because fuck all of you.
I knew you guys were probably making fun of me every time I cracked a fetch land, but that's fine.
No,
We didn't even do that. We didn't even. We should
I
have.
was the only one who noticed. Like I noticed after the
Taylor
fact.
pointed it out one time.
Hey, it's thinning out my deck.
It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Yeah, it's weird. And there was so much other gameplay. I mean, those were intense games.
There was
Like
a
we were.
lot of like decision points in so many of those turns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Like
crazy.
Nick,
we
you had
were
turns.
actively like debating things, like in the commentary. We were like, "This is the right way to go," or like,
Yeah.
like the. I think the factor fiction was really our most like. We
Yeah.
had a lot of things to talk about.
Oh
Did
yeah,
I
what
take
do you
the
think
right
about
pile? And how was Joe's piling?
I think. Well, I think Taylor had the alternative pile suggestions.
No, I mean, I actually think, like, in retrospect, Joe's piles turned out well. I was tempted to take the other pile if I was in Nick's position, but, like, and usually when that happens, that's proof that the person separated them well, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I had a
Nick was in
hard
a
time.
bind there. I mean, neither was great, right? Like, it was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do think that Nick, you made the right choice. I think
Yeah, that was
Vindicate
a tough one.
plus Liliana, without knowing that he had an answer for the Liliana, is the better choice.
Yeah, that was. I was like, oh, this gets rid of like his whole board in 2 turns.
Yeah.
I think that was the choice where, like, I was convinced back and forth from my position. I was like, oh, wait, no, I was wrong. Wait, maybe, no, I was wrong. You know, like, I kept waffling myself, so I still don't totally have an opinion on that.
The Palace Jailer play of that game just crushed me because I was like,
Yeah.
Joe was drawing so many cards.
Yeah. And Joe, was that a top deck? I mean, not to take away, but it definitely felt like sometimes Joe was forced to keep, like, kind of middling openers and then would, like...
terrible openers.
really unlucky openers.
Running answers.
And then you would just, like, draw just 5.
Yeah, I was running good answers for sure. I had such shit opening hands every time. But they were, like, so middling. Like, they weren't easy to toss.
I will say, I think my favorite play of the whole night was the dismember on your own Mother of Druids. that was so funny.
I mean, I was basically scooping at that point, but yeah, I was like, this is a play I could do.
Well, no,
now.
I don't think it's totally wrong. Like,
It was, like, wild.
It made Nick have to do like 2 more turns before he got to Oath of Druids. Actually, he never Oath of Druids. You never triggered it, right?
No, that was the first game.
No,
right?
you did. That's when you got the Git Rock. You got the Git
It was
Rock.
definitely the first.
That's when I
time.
milled my whole deck.
Yeah.
That was That was the crazy.
still have to
Oath of
look that
Druids.
up.
I have 7
That was
creatures.
fantastic.
I have 7 creatures in my deck, and I milled. I think I had drawn like 2 of them, So I had 5 left. And I went through, I think, like 20-something cards.
I mean, that's a risk, right? I mean, that's why like that card is such a weird.
It's not a risk. I knew I would hit a creature eventually.
Well, yeah, just like you mill yourself a lot. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess if it keeps going off and your opponent doesn't have an answer, but like if Joe just answered it and then.
Yeah, that's what, I guess if I was against like the Elspeth and it just kept going off. No, well, that's why I have the Emrakul.
Yeah.
I'm more thinking like if it goes off, you mill like 20 some cards. Joe answers the creature, Joe answers the enchantment. Then you're like, oh, my library is like
Yeah, that's why I have
6
Emrakul.
cards. I don't have that many.
I just need to discard Emrakul and it resets my graveyard.
Oh yeah, one of them has the. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he has the big.
I was forgetting that one of them has the.
Yeah,
That is such a
that's
fine
how I
balancing
beat
act.
Matt. Because Matt was like trying to mill me with his storm deck, and I just had Emrakul.
Please tell us this story.
That was it. I don't think he had to dig for another answer because he knew I had Emrakul in my deck. Although the one game,
and Tendrils was sitting in Joe's sideboard.
the one game he did mill me, the turn before he milled me, I just happened to draw the Emrakul. It was like
That's how it
super
happens.
unlucky. I was like, I didn't even know his deck. It was the first game. I didn't know what his deck was or what his win con was. And then he played mill, and I was like, this is so funny, but I don't want to tell him because I want him to mill the Emrakul.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, that game we were watching, Nick, that time when like it was just like 6 lords
Oh
in
my
the
god,
chat,
that was so funny.
or maybe even more because of Ian, and we were just like screaming.
Wait,
But there were really
was
funny.
it me?
No, I was saying you were there too, so we had probably more than 6 lords like yelling at Matt. But it was even weirder because there were like lines we hadn't seen. Because I played Matt the next round, he was explaining it, and he was basically like trying to think of his outs, and like 20 minutes into the turn, he realized, oh, I have to chump the Emrakul with the flyer, which means it's gonna die, which means it's gonna shuffle the graveyard. But it took him so long to get there, which like no hate, because like literally every lord watching didn't see that line.
First of all, when people would join into that game, they'd be like, "Oh, this game is over. This is the stage of the game where they like flip their decks out and they're like,
Yes,
oh, this is what I have."
revealing decks.
and then like I think literally Robert like said with like a sense of fear, he was just like, "Oh my god, Nick's tapping mana." Nick's like tapping for something.
so to just to end the video, is there any final thoughts? Otherwise, I want to.
Elden Ring comes out tomorrow.
I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Squarespace. If you want to design an easy and affordable website.
Your leading man, John Cena.
Like I said, this is going to be interesting.
Dreams, they've never had that perfect ending story. It seems like they've all been just taken from me, just like that. Just.
And I think just like that, we should end this video. Grid finals, and that's signing off.